Dude, the latest Genshin livestream opened up so many windows for Genshin lore. We're going to the Temple of Space, Asmoday's domain, basically. Minsleaf uploaded a video called Genshin's new Asmodee lore is actually terrifying, and today we're going to be giving it a watch because me and Minsleaf are going to be sitting down over this next couple of days to discuss the Genshin lore together in a video. There is so much that I want to say about the Genshin livestream, and we're going to dive into it in this one, and then again with Min directly, because I know she's going to go into a lot of detail here, but there is far more to discuss than can even fit in a 10-minute video in my opinion. So let's get into this.
We need to talk about the Luna 6 livestream. And honestly, I don't even know where to start.
Me either.
Why was it glitching in the beginning? Are they...
Dottore? Listen, I don't know about Dottore, bro. This scene looks absolutely incredible.
Changing the loading screen or something?
Yes.
Dornan Port is finally releasing after 5 years of being teased. And we're seeing Jean and Barbara's father for the first time in game. And finally, Asmoday's...
Look at this area, dude. This is one of the most beautiful areas I have ever seen in the entire game, and I'm not even kidding.
Temple of Space. After Notcry, it feels like lore drop after a crazy lore drop. Out of everything in this live stream, the thing that grabbed me the most was the Temple of Space.
Bro, me too. Look at that hole in the sky, dude. It really reminds me of the holes in the sky in Ochkanatlan, which some people theorize is where like the first descender came through, right? Or even the second descender, or Nibelung, broke through the firmament. But Ochkanatlan's kind of got its own firmament, right? So it's a bit of a weird one. This one is very interesting, though. It seems very meticulously placed here.
Because I think it tells us a lot of things.
Yep.
What kind of god Asmodee actually is, and what her plan might be. Most players know Asmodee as the infamous god from the opening cutscene.
Indeed.
She is the ruler of space, one of the 4 shades created by the Heavenly Principle.
This artwork is so sus, bro. I'm telling you. Look at this shit. It's insane.
After they descended to Teyvat from outer space and went to war with the 7 sovereigns.
Yep.
She is the one who stopped the Traveler and their sibling when they tried to leave Teyvat during the Cataclysm. She called herself the sustainer of heavenly principles, condemned the arrogation of mankind, and then attacked them with dark red cubes that look a lot like the cubes seen during Conria's destruction.
And we've seen these cubes in a lot of different areas of the game, by the way. Not only during Conria's destruction, but also in the Natlan quest with the sibling, where we met them and Asmodee was also suspiciously right there as well. We've also seen them near the Irminsul as well. If a lot of people forget about this, but these are very visible above the Irminsul tree in Sumeru.
Because of her, the Traveler fell into a 500-year sleep, and by the time they woke up, their powers were sealed and their sibling was gone.
So there was actually a very, very interesting line during the live stream, and I'll try to remember it for this video and post a clip after this.
Okay, this is bringing back some
Oh my god, I
memories.
can't.
And there's also a chance of falling into a mysterious and eerie space known as an apathic interval. So travelers will need to watch out.
Yeah, that's gonna be a no for me.
An apathic interval. Apathic interval, that is where you go when you get cubed. What is this? An apathic interval refers to a period characterized by a distinct lack of motivation, interest, or emotional reactivity. We got cubed, we lost our ambition. That's why we didn't have the powers that we had, because it works the same as a goddamn vision. You lose your ambition, you lose your powers. That's what happened when we got cubed. She took our ambition away. Now we are gaining it back. In a clinical context, an apathic interval relates to a core feature of many conditions, including Alzheimer's, memory loss. But it made me think, I was like, so if allergenes, which are vision wielders, lose the power over their vision when they lose ambition, is that all that happened to the Traveler too? Like when we got cubed, did we just lose our memories, in turn losing our ambition, meaning that we can't control the elements? And obviously this journey is us going to regain our power over the 7 elements.
Meanwhile, the sibling had already awakened long before and gone on to become the leader of the Abyss Order.
Indeed.
Asmodee's current whereabouts are unknown, even to the other shades. Istaroth speculated that she may have switched sides, and
I want to talk a lot about Istaroth. I hope Min goes into it in this video because we had a little bit of a back and forth about this, but there's a specific NPC that was in the live stream that is very suspicious.
Renova basically says she would never do that unless she loved her new master more than herself. That line has been living in my head ever since the God's Limits teaser.
Me too, man. I've always been thinking since then, who could Asmodee's new master be? I've even thought things like Dainsleif. I mean, way back in the day, I had a theory that when Dainsleif is at the end of the Teyvat chapter interlude trailer, and he's like, show me that you're worthier than I to rescue her. I had a feeling and still have a feeling he's not talking about Lumine there. Yes, it shows Aether as the main traveler in that trailer, but I don't feel like they would have set it up like that if it was about her. I thought, what if Asmoday's new master is Dainsleif, and maybe they traveled together in the past as well or something? I know he's got his feuds with the, you know, the big old HP and stuff, but I don't know, dude. I love to theorize about random weird stuff, and then when stuff like this comes out, it kind of connects some dots. It still might be incredibly unlikely, but it's so fun to theorize about.
The last time we even see Asmoday is during the travelers meeting with their sibling in
Yes,
Natlan during the Space and Time for You Archon quest. A portal closes at the end, like she may have been eavesdropping on the conversation. So Luna 6 is giving us a mysterious new realm called the Temple of Space.
Can I just say as well, everything inside of this place looks incredible. Some people were kind of confused and they thought that this was going to be a limited time area, like a one-time domain. I'm 99.9% certain it's not, just as a heads up. Pretty goddamn certain this is going to be a world quest, which does mean it's probably going to be unvoiced. But at the same time, I don't care. I'm still going to post content of this to YouTube. I'll just voice the whole thing so y'all don't have to.
And it looks like it may be giving us a trail that leads directly to the missing shade.
Oh yeah.
We interrupt this lore spiral to bring you news from today's sponsor.
What is it?
Today's video is sponsored by Aniva.
Hell yeah! Aniva's great. I highly recommend them. Go check Min's description in her video to use her link for Aniva in this one, bro. Aniva's a great top-up site.
The way we get to the Temple of Space is actually insane. The new world quest starts at the Sanitarium in Dornian Port, where there's a Barbados statue that opens a path to the sky.
Who would have thunk that the Barbados statue in Mondstadt and the description underneath the base of the statue that says Gateway to Celestia could indeed be the actual Gateway to Celestia?
Instantly caught my attention because for years, the community has talked about the Teyvadian script at the base of the Animo Archon statue in Mondstadt. When translated, it means Gateway of Celestia. Now, we finally see something like that happen for real, except instead of taking us straight to Celestia, this portal leads us to the Temple of Space.
I'm so curious if the base of this statue is going to read something different, like Gateway to Space or something.
It's described as a repository of fragments created by Asmoday, essentially her museum. Different parts.
Yeah, her British museum, bro. She got places. She got bits of culture from all over the world, bro. She pillaged that shit. This place looks very interesting. I am very much hoping, by the way, that we get some Deshret lore in this quest, and I can heavily see them going that way, especially because this is supposedly from back when like the unified civilization was a thing. Asmodee literally has like recollected places of all of these areas back when they were like in their prime, basically. I'm wondering if this was just the entire like unified civilization at this point.
Parts of the temple are made up of elevated landscapes taken from different civilizations across Teyvat and preserved there.
Exactly.
It's an amalgamation of many civilizations, all cut up and stored in one place.
Indeed,
Even
it
the
is.
gameplay seems built around manipulating space inside this realm. And
So
honestly,
sick.
I wouldn't be surprised if in the future we get to play with time too. Imagine getting to Conria and swapping between the past and present to solve puzzles and stuff. But
That'd be kind of cool. I mean, they've already done something similar to that in one of the unified civilizations, right? Of Enconomia. They kind of did. Not necessarily with time, but with night and day, the day and night cycle.
the thing that really makes me suspicious was one of the reasons we're going into the temple in the first place.
Zeitlind, this motherfucker's like, yeah, go search for my sibling, bro. Okay, I have two theories about this. Either this is a daughter of Istaroth in a sense, kind of like Zabai and stuff, right? Where she is related to Istaroth and we are going to search for Istaroth. But I have a feeling that this also could be Istaroth or like an avatar of her, you know, kind of like Venti and the Wind Sprite situation. And we're going to be looking for Asmoday. And she's just kind of sending us this message through Zeitlind, whatever her name is.
There's a girl named Zeitlind who needs help finding an important relative.
Yeah.
Okay, sure, Istaroth. The name Zeitlind might have come from Zeitel, a Yiddish name meaning child of Zeitel, and also of Zeit, meaning time. So put it together and it means child of time.
Interesting.
Istaroth, you're not so slick. Istaroth is the goddess of time and the thousand winds. Venti himself used to be a wind sprite before becoming an Archon, and one of his abilities was shapeshifting. The form he uses now was modeled after the nameless bard. So if Venti as a wind spirit could do that, then I wouldn't put it past Istaroth to be able to do something similar. And if Zeitlind really is Istaroth in NPC form, then that would mean the goddess of time is actively searching for Asmoday. And
That's what I hope is this situation, dude. Because remember in the Gods Limits teaser, they're searching for Asmoday. They don't know where she is.
Honestly, that would make perfect sense because Asmoday is missing. The Shades don't know where she is, and it's implied she betrayed Celestia and now serves a new master. Which brings us to the question I keep coming back to. Who is Asmoday's new master?
One thing I do think would be kind of crazy is if the new master was like either Piero or the Sarita. I think that would be absolutely insane and one of the biggest plot twists in terms of the Shades versus the rest of the world of Teyvat. I don't know how that would necessarily go down, but I do like the idea of it.
There aren't many people who make sense so far. For a while, one possibility I kept brushing aside was the Traveler's sibling, but there's not much evidence backing it up. The only connection I could find was that they both seem to be against Celestia as of now. But then the trailer may have revealed some new quote-unquote evidence.
Wait, really? I mean, well...
No, but then the trailer may have revealed some new quote-unquote
why doesn't... Paimon doesn't get cubed here. Interesting.
Evidence. Because look at what the Temple of Space actually is. It is full of preserved fragments of ancient civilizations.
Yeah.
That means, theoretically, if a civilization were to be destroyed, traces of it could still exist here.
I really love this idea, and I like to think it could even be Zhongli, bro, the new master. Listen, the Traveler is supposed to be the witness of this new world, right? And when I saw this, the first thing that came to mind was Asmodee might have had that role in the past. And because she's missing now, obviously the Traveler is the one that needs to ascend the throne. That was said way back in the day, like before Genshin released, I think it was. Either in the message by KK, or it's in one of his stories in the in-game profile. Like, he is the one that is chosen to basically ascend to the throne in the sky. I like to think that Asmodee is/was collecting all of these memories of these places in her own space, and then eventually we're going to all work together to create a new world. I think that'd be awesome. A space and time for you then also makes a little bit more sense in terms of the quest, but there's still like a couple more missing details that I feel like we need, especially to do with things like the Hexen Circle, before we can have like a definitive answer on what Asmodee's plan actually is.
My mind immediately went to Conria, because what if Asmodee preserved part of it?
Yeah,
what
for
if
sure.
she captured its space or saved a snapshot of it before it was fully lost?
Yep.
The Traveler's sibling is currently in the process of recreating Conria. The sibling was said to have used the memories of surviving Conrians and Dainsleif, poor guy, to form a new Conria.
Poor
But it
guy.
still needs something crucial. A physical place in the world where its ley lines can rest and where that recreation can truly take hold. So I can't help but wonder whether Asmodee and the sibling could be working together in some way.
I could see that, honestly, especially considering the Traveler didn't seem to be the most, like, you know, impressed by that idea.
Asmodee would be the one being in Teyvat most associated with the power to carve out and preserve space itself. One of the Watchers in the temple says this place exists only to preserve. All innovation, all evolution is forbidden here. His name is Milanta, which resembles Milanta, a name associated with a dark flower or black blossom. But it also makes me think of Melantho from Greek mythology, the disloyal maidservant in the Odyssey who betrayed Penelope. All of this could be a literary nod to the possibility that Asmodee truly betrayed Celestia. Milanta is a watcher guarding the temple during Asmodee's absence, and we're told he did not descend into the mortal world, but he has descended into madness. His design really resembles the Heavenly Principles, except with the single wing and halo. It'd be wild if that was hinting at a future fight between the Traveler and the Heavenly Principles. And
well, oh, actually, dude, I just freaking noticed this now. Wait, that's crazy. These are like the opposites of each other. Look, so this one has the wing on the right side. This one has the wing on the left side. One of the wings is dark and this whole entity is dark, and this one is light. So I'm assuming they can combine to make one like angel, basically. Wait, that's so freaking cool. I just noticed this now.
somehow Asmodee was prepping us for it. Before Luna 6, all we really knew about Asmodee was that she could seal people away and control space. But what does that actually mean? Now with Luna 6, it suggests that the space in Genshin doesn't just mean physical location. It could also mean an assigned place, a fixed role, the space something is allowed to occupy within Teyvat's system. And if that's true, then Asmodee may have been one
Can she free up some memory space in my PC then in terms of Genshin, bro? Maybe reduce the size a little bit?
of the gods making sure everything stayed where it was supposed to, with nothing allowed to grow beyond that limit. That lines up disturbingly well with a much bigger pattern in Genshin's lore. Again and again, Genshin seems to treat certain kinds of change as forbidden. In Sumeru, interfering with human evolution is one of the 6 cardinal sins. In Fontaine, Egeria was punished for creating a new human race without the Heavenly Principle's permission. And the game also treats forbidden knowledge or forces from beyond Teyvat as something the world itself rejects. So when Milanta says innovation and evolution are forbidden in the Temple of Space, we're finally seeing one piece of the ideology behind the Heavenly Principles more clearly. As a ruler, she's someone who enforces the rules.
Dude, that is such a fun way to look at that whole situation. God, I love how Min kind of analyzes this stuff, dude. It's so interesting.
And this could be one of them. She was, after all, the sustainer of Heavenly Principles. Maybe she was helping sustain a world where change itself was very regulated. A world where civilizations could exist, but only within certain limits.
And unified.
A world where history could be preserved, but only by being cut off from an unpredictable future. The Temple of Space might reflect Asmoday's old beliefs rather than her current ones. Again, the other shades say she's missing and they suspect treason. Her servants are still maintaining the temple and carrying out its rules, but Asmodee herself is nowhere to be found. So this whole realm might be a leftover structure from the person she used to be and the ideology she once enforced. And
I still like to think that she's corrupted here, bro. I really do. Looking at all the red and stuff, I can only assume that there is like another variation of her, which is like all blue and stuff like Dainsleif or something, and even like Paimon, right? And like we saw the 2 angel looking things, one with a white wing, one with a red. Like one of them is pure, one of them is abyssal, I guess. Not like actual abyssal, but you know what I mean, like corrupted. And this is just the corrupted variation of Asmodee.
If that's the case, then her betrayal becomes a little easier to understand, maybe?
Yeah.
Think about it. If Asmodee's role was to keep civilizations frozen, limit growth, and stop progress, then turning against Alessia would make sense. Maybe she finally saw how terrible the system she was protecting really was. Knowing what we know now, we can look at the opening cutscene differently. Maybe Asmodee wasn't only stopping 2 people from escaping Teyvat. Maybe from her perspective, she was stopping something from leaving its assigned role. If you enjoyed this video, please leave a like and subscribe, and I'll see you on the next video. I'm your Leafy Lore Keeper Minzlif, and I read the Genshin Impact lore so that you don't have to.
God damn it. Okay. Hey, Minsleaf absolutely cooked, bro. As always, in all fairness, Min does cook a hell of a lot of the time. Let me know down in the comments if you're excited for our lore talk together. Subscribe to the channel so you don't miss more in the future, and I will catch you all in the next video.